To what extent has the cost of living in Hainan pushed me? I'm honestly furious. It's the second most expensive place I've experienced, right after Hong Kong. I've lived in Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and even Hong Kong, and every single one of those cities is cheaper than here. You're only slightly more affordable than Hong Kong. What kind of income do people in Hong Kong have, and what kind of income does Hainan have?
说海南这个地方要干什么工作呀？
Can anyone tell me what kind of jobs you can actually do in Hainan? I honestly feel like I can't survive at these prices anymore. A monthly salary of $700, after paying rent, parking fees, gas, and food, there's basically nothing left. By the end of the month, I can't even save a few cents. Brothers, what kind of jobs are you all doing? Are there any jobs that actually make money? Introduce me to one. I'll try it. I really can't afford to live like this anymore. On December 18th, the Chinese authorities announced the official launch of the full island customs closure of the Hainan Free Trade Port. More than 30,000 square kilometers of the island were designated as a special consumption supervision zone, with 8 external ports and 10 second-line ports simultaneously put into operation. About 74% of goods on the island are now eligible for zero-tariff policies, covering more than 6,600 tariff categories, which has attracted large numbers of tourists from mainland China, as well as Hong Kong and Macau, to shop and consume. However, in stark contrast to the bustle brought by outside visitors, residents widely complain about soaring prices and stagnant incomes. Vegetable prices in particular are shockingly high, further intensifying the cost of living pressure on the island.
价到底有多离谱？我真的是受不了了。
Just how outrageous are prices in Hainan? I seriously can't take it anymore. I have to rant about this. Just now, I ordered a bowl of rice noodles. Can you believe it? The one bowl cost me $3. In cities with high costs of living, residents' incomes are also relatively high. But Hainan refuses to follow that logic. It's like, I don't care if your salary is only $400, beef is $10 when it's supposed to be $10, and housing prices are $2,800 per square meter when they're supposed to be $2,800. The blogger states that Hainan's Engel coefficient is the highest in the country. Even in first-tier cities like Beijing, the Engel coefficient is only around 21%, and in Shanghai it's about 26%. But Hainan's is a staggering 39%. So what is the Engel coefficient? Simply put, it's the proportion of your total expenditure spent on food. For example, if you have $14, the average person in Shanghai will pay $3.70 on food, while someone in Hainan will spend $5.60, a truly outrageous difference. Another point he's never understood is this: with such high prices in Hainan, one would expect local incomes to be correspondingly high. Yet wages remain consistently low. So the question arises, who is actually making all the money? Chinese state media describes the closure of the Hainan Free Trade Port as a further opening up to the outside world, but repeatedly emphasizes the need to adhere to the centralized and unified leadership of the CCP Party Central Committee. Some analysts point out that Hainan is unlikely to become a global hub in the future and is more likely to become an economic island under firm control. Given the lack of a legal foundation and political system necessary for a free economy, and against the backdrop of a continued weakening of the overall Chinese economy, the Hainan Free Trade Port bubble is foreseeably destined to burst. Hainan, you really betrayed me. I'm very disappointed in you, and I'm considering whether I should stay here next year. For example, one time I wanted to make something simple, spinach fried with eggs. I went to the supermarket and saw that spinach was $3 per kilogram. What is this supposed to be? Is it because spinach isn't grown here, or is it imported? At first, I thought maybe it was just the supermarket I chose. It was actually a reasonably large one nearby. So then I went to a small neighborhood grocery store, really tiny, just a few hundred square meters. The kind you can finish browsing in a few minutes. Still, $3, no change. After that, I thought maybe the problem was me. So fine, let's go to a wet market. Usually wet markets are more affordable, right? Same thing, $3. In the comment section, one netizen wrote, "Anyone planning to come to Hainan should be mentally prepared. The prices here are absolutely first tier, on par with those in Shanghai and Beijing. It's really outrageous. Not even talking about seafood, which can cost hundreds of RMB per jin. Just things like ginger, garlic, and cilantro can sometimes be so expensive it leaves you speechless." Another netizen said, I still can't forget cilantro costing $23 per kilogram.
海南封关后物价便宜了吗？
Have prices become cheaper in Hainan since the border was closed? This is a question many friends from the mainland have been asking me these past few days. Personally, I haven't noticed any price reductions while living in Sanya. Sanya, as a tourist city, naturally has higher prices, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is logistics. Anyone who lives in Hainan and has shopped online knows that Hainan ranks first among remote areas for online delivery, alongside Xinjiang, Tibet, and Inner Mongolia. Not only is it slow, but many cheap fresh produce items aren't even shipped from Hainan. On the first day after the border closure, major media outlets reported that citizens were queuing up to buy durians, but even at the so-called discounted price, 1 kilogram still cost $24. So have prices actually decreased after Hainan closed its borders? The blogger's opinion is that the price reductions mainly affected high-value added goods, such as the high-end iPhone model, the most expensive, or luxury fruits like durian, which are already quite pricey. As for daily necessities, prices remain essentially unchanged, with no significant alterations. It's the 5th day since Hainan's customs closure, and housing prices here have once again become a massive joke. Just how ridiculous has it gotten? When the free trade port was first established, didn't everyone think Hainan's property prices would rise and at least hold their value? So, have they appreciated? Has your home dropped 50 or 80%? Feel free to leave a comment below. Now that the island is sealed off, let's take a look from Haikou all the way to Sanya and see just how badly prices have fallen. Let's start with Haikou. The most expensive area used to be Guoxing Avenue, right? Wasn't this place marketed as Haikou's CBD? According to the blogger, apartments along Guoxing Avenue used to sell for about $3,600 per square meter. By last year, prices had already fallen to $2,600, and this year the actual transaction price is around $1,700, a drop of nearly 50% compared to before. Some people say that prices in Hainan are indeed high, definitely higher than in northeast China. If you want to stay in Hainan now, what does that mean? It means either you already have a financial foundation, or you can still do something in Hainan that will continue to generate income for you. If you're simply talking about retiring in Hainan, the cost can be pretty high at times. I don't think the cost of living will decrease any further. There's a saying in northeast China, if you have money, go to Sanya, if you don't, go to Xishuangbanna. So it's up to each person to choose. But as for the cost of living in the free trade port, expecting it to come down is impossible. What do you think? Sanya is a place that drives away people who want to start businesses and do things. They simply can't stay here and they can't survive. This afternoon, a small thing made me so angry my head hurt. My guest house needed a few signs, so I looked for graphic advertising. In Guiyang, it costs 2 quarters per sign, and they can make them quickly and very well. Then I asked 2 places here, and they both said $2. I told one of the owners that $2 was too expensive. My requirements aren't that high. Just plain white paper with blue text, simple layout, printing, and molding are enough. The blogger, Miss Wong, said to the shop owner, "How about $1.50 per sign? I need 4 of them. It's straightforward, something you can finish quickly." The owner thought it made sense and started working on it, but complained the whole time that the job was too troublesome. Miss Wong originally requested blue text, but the owner changed it to black. When she asked him to change it to blue, he impatiently replied, "Why are you being so picky?" Feeling helpless, Miss Wong said, "Then just let me use your computer. I'll do the layout myself. You just need to print it." But just as she was about to finish the layout, the owner suddenly said he was closing the shop because a friend needed him, and he would no longer take the order. With no other choice, Miss Wong placed the order again with the shop in Guiyang, had them make the signs, and mailed them over. The 4 signs cost only $2 plus $3 for shipping, $5 in total. Miss Wong lamented that everyone in Hainan is focused on making big money, and no one wants to take small jobs. But ultimately, earning $6 for half an hour isn't a loss. She thought to herself, "I've never seen business done like this before." This blogger, a real estate agent, warned netizens not to buy houses in Hainan recklessly. Currently, up to 80% of dwellings in Hainan are unsellable, with people selling houses everywhere in Wenchang and Shanghai. Houses can't be rented or sold, and the number of second-hand homes has reached unprecedented levels. Many owners are willing to lose tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even over 200,000 RMB, but still can't find buyers. New developments are offering discounts and promotions, and developers are focusing on clearing out their inventory quickly. Recently, many people have been talking about the Hainan Free Trade Port's customs closure, believing the real estate market will rebound. But in my view, I've been selling property in Hainan for 11 years. Today, I want to say something that many people in the industry don't dare to say. Over the past few years of the Free Trade Port customs closure, there has been no clear relationship between the customs closure and housing prices. You could even say the connection is very weak. Whether housing prices can rise ultimately depends on the underlying logic of supply and demand. And right now, across the entire island of Hainan, housing supply is already excessive. According to the blogger, another batch of new residential projects will soon be launched, and a large number of subsidized and affordable housing units will also be rolled out. Prices are likely to keep trending downward if you're considering buying property in Hainan right now. But it's neither a retirement necessity nor an education-related necessity, then it's better not to rush into it. Hainan is really outrageous. I'm here to complain about Hainan today, and I'm talking about prices. Have you ever bought cilantro for $8 per kilogram? I have. A while ago, $4 per kilogram of leafy greens even trended on social media. Take this morning, for example. I bought 2 signature pork buns priced at $1/4. I thought 2 pork buns would be enough for someone like me with a small appetite, but when I got them, I laughed. Their popularity is all thanks to their catchy name. Their proper name should be pork xiao long bao, small steamed buns with pork filling. The blogger says that Hainan has the highest prices in the country, far exceeding those in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Most people in Hainan only earn around $400 a month. Living here is really tough. It's not just vegetables that are expensive, meat is costly too. Beef and lamb cost $20 per kilogram in Hainan, and ribs cost $14 per kilogram. Many tourists who come to Hainan complain about the ridiculously high prices, but they're only here for a few days. They tolerate it and leave. But what should we do if we live here long term? Friends, I've been in Hainan for a month now, and I've found that prices here are genuinely higher than in Guangzhou. Everything from food and clothing to housing and transportation is more expensive. Can you believe it? In a somewhat run-down neighborhood built around 2000, a room like this, about 20 square meters, costs $140 a month. During the National Day holiday, I was strolling through the Qilu Old Street area and ate at this restaurant. Guess how much this Hainanese chicken rice costs? A whopping $5.40. The blogger said that the group of young people at the table in front of them was also there. As they were leaving, he overheard someone complaining, "I'm never coming back." They had clearly been ripped off. Overall prices in Haikou are indeed higher than in Guangzhou. I've been in Sanya for 3 days, and there's something I don't understand. How do you young people in Sanya live? Surely they're not all rich kids. A meal at an inconspicuous restaurant costs $40. On the first day, we ate at a place called Yahui Fen. Just the two of us shared one bowl of noodles, a stir-fried vegetable dish, a duck head, and a fish soup. Just some small fish, nothing expensive, and it cost us $24. That's about $12 in Shenyang. Yesterday, we went to the first market. Everyone said it was great, so we bought some seafood. After it was cooked, we purchased a small lobster, 2 crabs, and some mantis shrimp. The whole meal cost $140. The blogger said that if you eat like that every day, the prices here are really outrageous, so they went to a small restaurant thinking it might be cheaper. But when they looked at the menu, they were shocked. A plate of meat cost $8, even $10. Celery stir-fried with bean sprouts cost $3, and scrambled eggs with chives cost $4. The 3 of them ordered a few simple home-style dishes and a few bottles of beer, and the bill came to a whopping $43. Beer was $1.40 a bottle. The blogger couldn't help but exclaim, "Locals have to eat every day. How can they afford food at these prices?" I'm leaving. I simply can't stay in Haikou anymore. It's a pseudo third-tier city with first-tier consumption levels, low wages, high living costs, and a poor entrepreneurial environment. There are more ride-hailing cars than private cars. In Sanya, coconuts are now as expensive as a Starbucks coffee. You're not drinking coconut juice, you're just drinking the experience. A dress at the night market costs $11, but online it's $3.60. During holidays, the Hainan Ring Expressway turns into a parking lot.
海南的物价全国第一，你们有没有人不同意的？
Hainan has the highest prices in the country. Does anyone disagree? Actually, I've been to many cities across China, including first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen, but I feel their prices are all lower than Hainan's. In Hainan, pork costs $8.50 per kilogram, and vegetables sell for $3 per kilogram. Especially during typhoon season, prices seem ridiculously high. But what I don't understand is that most people in Hainan earn only about $400 a month, yet maintain such an optimistic attitude. They just eat and drink as usual without taking anything to heart.
万宁石梅湾片区的小区啊。
In the Ximei Bay area of Wanning, villas that sold for $300,000 last year are now only $100,000, and all 5 required certificates are complete. Mortgages are still available. The community is terrific and well developed with excellent landscaping. It's only 900 meters from the beach, a pure villa community nestled against the mountains and facing the sea. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.